Okay, back at it. You can see I have marked out where the oil pan actually interferes with the cross member here. Additionally, I put these other marks here. So this is the width of the block. Absolute minimum, I need this much clearance. This would be good to fit the block and any sensors or anything hanging off of it. And so really what I'm thinking is I want to be able to chop this guy right here, plate it off on both sides, and then build in a new subframe that sits low and goes back a little bit. And we can see how close we can get it up to this steering linkage, and then come up to the other part of the spot here we plated off. And I found a piece of scrap and got that all cleaned up and wiped down. And I'm going to go ahead and try and tack this up, probably put some really heavy tacks on either side before I actually go and start chopping this guy. So that way when I go and cut it, it actually doesn't twist. So much room for activities now with the subframe come out. Now I'm going to go through and deburr and make sure this is flat and square to the rest of the body. I just did some cardboard aided design and traced out the subframe, the profile that was cut. And so now I got a driver's side and passenger side. I'm going to transfer it to this plate. So it's 120 thou just mild steel. I'm going to cut out and then throw it on there and tack it and weld it on there. All right, got the subframe boxed off. Don't judge me too much on the welding. It's not my greatest, but I'm also going to use the excuse that it's out of position and super awkward to crawl in here and move around. But it's in there. Okay, kind of abrupt change for this video, but you can see now I have the engine fully mounted, built up 2 engine mounts. So I got a big polyurethane bushing there, some tabs, built up a brace on this side, did the same thing on this side, all out of 304 stainless, and then had to clearance the subframe. So I think last time we picked up, I had to cut out the existing subframe, cut that out. Did lose quite a bit of ground clearance. You can see here, so the old subframe would have been straight across, so I went about 2 inches down. Yeah, not super stoked about that, but I do have some clearance. So there's about a little over a 1/4 inch gap between the oil pan and the subframe there. And the next thing to figure out is the oil filter. So I made this block off plate here, but normally it'd be going right there, right where that subframe would be. And so now we got plenty of room. I'm gonna take out this trim piece here. I can mock up my header. So I got all those plastic bits. I can start making up the header. I think there's plenty of room for the turbo to hang here. The exhaust will be able to shoot down that way, and then come forward. And then come up here, got plenty of room for the radiator and intercooler. Yeah, and all these mounts are way overkill, but I didn't want to have to think about it. So this is 120 thou thickness. Same thing with this pipe right here. This bottom part is actually 1/4 inch thick, just so I get the right inner diameter for this bushing. And then all the plating here and the box section here is 120 thou here. So heavy, it's not going to be full race car spec, as light as it can be, but then I don't have to worry about it twisting and warping on me. So I'm pretty happy how that turned out.